Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone joining us from around the world. I am Dr. Saqib Mushtaq, founder and lead coordinator of the Global Entomologist Network. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to Gen Seminar 6, an important session focused on innovations in crop protection, integrating entomology with sustainable pest management. Today's seminar brings together research insights, field experience, and modern technological advances to highlight how entomology serves as the backbone of sustainable and environmentally responsible pest management. Our goal is to promote practices that strengthen crop resilience, reduce environmental and chemical load, support eco-friendly IPM solutions, and empower researchers and professionals worldwide. At Gen, we are committed to fostering collaboration, mentorship, and capacity building for young scientists, researchers, and practitioners across the globe. With that, let us begin. I now invite our Gen Secretary, Ms. Asma Talib, to introduce today's esteemed speaker, Mr. Akil Ahmed. Please, Ms. Asma Talib.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Saqib. It's my honor to introduce our esteemed speaker, Dr. Akil Ahmed, a distinguished scientist and leader in crop protection and plant biotechnology. Dr. Akil earned his PhD in entomology, followed by postdoctoral work in medical entomology at Kansas State University, Manhattan, USA. He currently serves as the Pest Control Project Lead at Bayer and is recognized as a Science Fellow, one of the highest scientific honor within Bayer. Throughout his career, Dr. Akil Ahmed has worked in prominent R&D driven organizations including Bayer, Arista, and Monsanto, contributing extensively to the development, regulation, and global stewardship of modern crop protection technologies. His scientific contributions have directly advanced 20 genetically modified traits across five major crops. One of his notable achievements include leading the development of Bolgard 4 and Thrive on cotton technologies, where the advanced attend gene package across four loci, significantly reducing cost of goods while enabling comprehensive insect and weed control in cotton. Dr. Akil Ahmed has authored more than 40 technical research reports supporting over 20 biotech products focused on herbicide tolerance, insect control, yield achievement, and quality traits. Additionally, he has co-authored 19 peer-reviewed publications and 6 extension publications, demonstrating his continued leadership in agricultural science. Dr. Akil Ahmed, we are honored to have you with us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Asma and Saqib, for inviting me for today's seminar and giving me the opportunity to share some of the exciting story of my career at Bayer and academia. I may need your help how to share because I'm not so much familiar with Zoom. So should I share my screen from, let's see if this works.
Yes, Doctor, you can share, please.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, now we can see.
Perfect, perfect. So, hi everyone, my name is Akil Ahmed. I think you heard from Asma my detailed introduction about my career in the industry. Currently, I'm leading insect control projects within plant biotechnology organization at Bayer. In my current role, I lead cross-functional project teams to develop and implement strategic research plan for any biotech trait that we are trying to develop for insect control in different crops. So I'm more on the discovery and early phases of product development. So in this presentation, I'll be sharing the biotech traits that we have developed over the years and what is coming in future. So please let me know if you have any question at the end of the presentation. I have total 19 slides. I will try to finish in 30 to 45 minutes, and then we will have enough time for a Q&A.
Sure, Doctor. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, again, I don't need, it's more redundant slide here. Asma already provided my bio. One thing that I want to highlight here is I'm originally from Pakistan, and I did my PS and Masters from University of Agriculture in Pakistan, and I worked for industry there, developing seed treatment product for different crop ecosystems. Then I moved to United States for my PhD and did a postdoc in the same school, where my PhD was looking at environmental risk assessment of genetically modified crops. My postdoc work is mainly on the medical entomology, where I looked at how insects are disseminating antibiotic resistance bacteria and foodborne pathogens from animal environment to human environment. It was really 2.5 year productive years where I had opportunity to learn a new area beyond entomology and able to produce number of applications in a short period of time. So really feel proud of that achievement in my career. After 3.5 years of postdoc, I moved to industry again, where I joined Legacy Monsanto, now it's Bayer, in 2008, where I held various leadership roles in developing scientific strategies required for environmental risk assessment and global regulatory approvals. So now I'm early part of the product development, where we discover new gene and put together a plan how we can express them in the plant to show an efficacious expression level to control insects without hurting the plant, mean that we are not making any yield drag for that plant. And then we advance those products for regulatory approval in coming years. So before I start, I just want to share, as a company, we recognize a number of mega trends that mean that we need to step up and design crops and revolutionize agriculture once again. This is why it is needed. By 2050, there will be more than 20 billion additional people on the planet who would require more food from the same agriculture footprint. And also we need to produce more food from the same amount of land. And also we are seeing that not only the population, but also people have different dietary preference. So right now in many areas, we are seeing that people are switching to more protein in their diet, and also the plant-based protein recently, and we expect that it grow in near future. The other thing that we are seeing as more like a mega trend is climate change. At the same time, when we are seeing a huge pressure on our ecosystem. Climate change is leading to more volatile weather with generally warmer conditions. This comes to us at a big cost. It is estimated that by 2050, we will have lost 17% of annual harvest from our key row crop like corn, soybean, and cotton due to the climate change. So we have to think about that how we can overcome or combat this climate change to make sure that 17% of annual harvest that is predicted is not happen in the coming year. So at the most basic level, the bottom line is that this means that we need to be able to secure sufficient supply of food while using the natural resources more efficiently and responsibly. Um, we are also seeing advances in life sciences with new technologies beyond biotechnology, like we heard genome editing, and also digital technical tools like AI, artificial intelligence, data science, automation. All these are playing a big role in bringing new technology forward that can help us to meet these challenges. So with that, I will go to the next, just to give you an example here, that innovation in agriculture really bring a value for us to grow more with less amount of land in more sustainable way. So this picture is my favorite picture, which is showing corn production in different part of or different years, starting with 1940. We need to have more land to produce 250 kilogram yield. With advancement in agriculture, we are seeing that in 1980, when we have a revolution of getting insecticide, herbicide in the system, we are able to see more mechanized farming. We see that we are able to produce the same amount of yield with less amount of land. In 2000, we are seeing that we are able to further reduce the amount of land to produce the same amount of yield is by introducing the genetically modified crops or biotech traits that help us to mitigate insect and weed pressure in the field, that bring further value, having more amount yield in per acre basis. So we are seeing that this is going to continue be a trend by bringing new technologies that can help us to produce more with less amount of land. So I'm going to focus today talk is mainly biotechnology, and this is one of the tool of the ag innovation what we are talking. There are many others that are also playing a big role in helping us to achieve that goal that I mentioned earlier. So biotechnology did help us to develop highly efficacious solution for farmers over the last 30 years, which really strengthened the plant ability to overcome damage coming from diseases, insects, and weeds, or any adverse weather conditions. Here is a cartoon that you are seeing on this slide, the process, how this works. We take a beneficial trait or gene that help a living thing thrive in the nature, like an ability to use water efficiently. That's one of the trait that maybe a plant has. So we adapt that trait to a new plant like corn and soybean and cotton so that it can better survive in its environment. So that's the way we move genes from one plant to the other plant by using biotechnology tools. So these traits really helps farmers to grow their crops in a sustainable way. For example, farmers that nowadays planting corn, they are more tolerant to drought, insects, and diseases. And the GMO soybean and corn really enable farming without tilling, which helps precious topsoil be there and reduce the CO2 emission in the environment. Another example of the biotechnology is papaya, which really faced extinction due to disease until we introduce a biotech trait to resist that papaya virus. This is not our product as a company, but this is something that we have developed in collaboration with academia or nonprofit organizations. So I would say that Bayer and other in industry and academia, all of us are working together, bringing new generation of biotech crops that could develop and deliver important health benefit also. So like, I want to give you another example, like soybean that can be converted to a cooking oil without harmful trans fat. Or we can make rice that provide vitamin A, which is an important nutrient, is often lacking in diet in developing countries today's. So there is a lot of things that we can bring forward by using these tools available to us, like plant biotechnology, and then we have genome editing and other tools that I have mentioned earlier can help us to achieve our targets. So here I just want to give you that since we launched our first product or first crop back in 1996, the adoption rate of these crops is continuing to rise in different parts of the world. So currently, if we look at the total number of acreage across the world, we are looking at 52% of the area, cultivated area under genetically modified crops, which include all that are listed here, but mainly is coming from corn, soybean, and cotton, quinoa, or alfalfa. So there is a huge demand by the farmers because they see a real benefit of growing these crops at their farms to reduce their reliance on insecticide application and producing more in a more sustainable way. So no matter the size or type of the farm we have around the globe, it could be large farmer or large holding farmers like in US and Brazil or Argentina, or it could be a small farmers in Asia. Farmers around the world all face the common challenges that they want to know how to grow healthy, safe, and affordable crop in a more sustainable way. So this, I want to take you in the history a little bit. These are the traits in different crops that we as a company developed over the years. We have delivered many innovation over 25 years that predominantly help us to control above and below ground protection against insects like stalk borer and rootworm. And more recently, the product that I developed along with my team, and that product has already been launched in the US market and it will be launched in Brazil and Australia, that helps to control ligas and thrips. This is the first ever biotech trait that we have developed to control sucking pest. There's an amazing response that we are getting from our farmers who are growing cotton, and they are seeing a lot of benefit by controlling these insects. The other thing the technology is bringing is to enable us to spray herbicide over the top. And we have developed multiple generations over the years that help us to control those resistant weeds in the field. So each year we are developing traits and getting product approval, and so that the farmers could use. And we are seeing like over 350 million acres currently are under GM crops. Biotech traits really helps in reducing the reliance on the pesticide use. So with this robust R&D pipeline, what we have delivered in the past and what we are working on now will help farmers to produce more food with less land and cut costs and enable more targeted pesticide application at their farms. So that will really help the bottom line to reduce the impact on agriculture impact on the environment also. So a little bit about how we develop biotech trade. Here is a summary of the key activities and intensity of effort involved in various phases of the biotech research, starting with the discovery of genes, traits, until the pre-launch of the biotech trait. The process of biotech trait development has evolved over the year and consists of several phases, and each of those phases takes about 2 to 5 years, with certain activities overlap across those phases. Each phase advancement requires a financial commitment of between 10 million to 50 million US dollar. So therefore, when we move product from one phase to the other phase, we carefully assess that the product meet our technical and safety standard and have a positive business prospect proceed towards the launch. So one thing I want to mention on this slide is that it takes around 12 to 16 years start from the discovery to the launch. And it's a lot of time commitment and financial commitment we are looking at from the company. So it's not wise to move product so quickly without looking at all those technical and safety standards. So the next thing I want to share with you is that once we have a trait, then it's a continuous cycle, because it's natural phenomena that insects learn how to develop resistance to those traits. So one of the key driver of bringing the next generation product is how we can overcome those resistance development in insects. And it's a natural phenomena. According to scientific models, it takes like 5 to 8 years when we need to have another product in the market to prevent that resistance development in insects. So that's one of the main business driver what we are considering when we are developing a product. Then we also think about the technology refresh to expand the insect spectrum with wider herbicide flexibility as a growth opportunity for us to differentiate our product from the others. So like if we have a Lepidopteran insect control, we add on top of that a sucking pest control so that farmer has a good package for insect control by buying those seeds. Another driver in the recent years, each crop has an ability to go to certain number of loci. Just to give you an example, for cotton, use 5 to 6 loci, but when we go beyond that, then the production cost for producing those seeds becoming very expensive. So one of the focus in recent years that we are trying to develop or deliver more number of proteins or genes with less number of loci. Here is an example for cotton where we have 6 loci currently using to deliver 7 protein, which is, is a big cost to the company to bring those seed forward. But we are able to deliver more number of protein with less number of loci by making those vector stack. So that's another driver why we need new technology or next generation of product. So I'm going to share a couple of our products where I feel proud to be a part of the team and played a important role in developing those traits. The first one I alluded a little bit is Thrivon. Thrivon technology is our first ever biotech trait for controlling sucking pest. So you can see this product is our first generation product. We already started working on the second generation product. And this product is going to help us to provide a season-long control for ligas and thrips and help farmers to reduce their reliance on the insecticide application. The next product is HT4, which is called herbicide-tolerant fourth generation, that delivers 5 herbicide tolerance traits through a vector stack, including 2 new HT traits like HPPD, PPO, in addition to glyphosate, dicamba, and glufosinate. So this particular product will offer farmer multiple options to control weeds and increase their durability and flexibility for weed control. The third product on this slide is Bollgard 4. This is again the product that I work very closely with. Is a product that helps us to control key lepidopteran pests and provide a durability up to 10 years. So we are delivering 3 new genes for control, and that will be stacked with our existing product to provide a more durability for lepidopteran insects. So the pictures that you are seeing on the bottom of this slide is worth 1,000 words and speak itself for to show how the performance of Thrivon, HT4, Bollgard 4 looks like in the field. These are examples of amazing product development and performance in the field. And these traits surely help our cotton growers to increase their farm productivity by controlling these key pests. So I just want to stop here and just want to recognize these farmers as a scientist in the company or as a project lead. I feel proud when I see the farmers are excitement on their faces when I told them that we have developed a cotton, and that's the first row crop that is delivering 10 genes to control insects, lepidopteran pest and sucking pest, and also providing an effective control for weed. They were so happy, and they raised their hands like making 10 genes. And these are the growers who are, you can see the number of acreage they have. They are really big farming operation, and they see the benefit of this technology and want to use and get benefit out of it more often in their farming system. Okay, so we have more products. We are not only working in cotton. Cotton is close to my heart, so that's why I shared it first. But we do develop insects. We have first, second, third, and even fourth is coming. And those herbicide tolerant trait, and we have reached to a place where we have 5 herbicide tolerant genes in soybean crop, like cotton. This is, I don't know how many folks are here in the US, but rootworm is a key pest in corn ecosystem here. And that is $1 billion pest where we need a good durable product for insect control. So we are actively working on this trait, and we have launched several generations of product to control this pest. And this pest feeds on the roots that makes plant sick by reducing its ability to absorb water and nutrients from the soil because of by feeding on the roots. We are trying to express those genes that are toxic to this particular insect by expressing it in the root zone, so that when insects feed on, they die. And right now we are in the fourth generation of these products in the market. Versions of this trait. So this trait is a short stature, mean usually a corn. If you look at the corn, they are really tall plants, up to 12 to 15 feet. But we are trying to develop the half of the size of corn plants. We have different versions coming from breeding, which is non-GMO, and then we also have biotechnology-driven product that giving us the same phenotype, where we are reducing the height of the corn plant. And then we are also using genome editing tool where we are developing the similar traits. So we have all three tools available to us that deliver the same phenotype, and that would help us to launch same product in different geography. So why it is important? So like I mentioned about climate, like it's a big challenge for us. So here in US, in Brazil, and some other parts of the world, you might have seen a high winds or hurricane passing through the agriculture land. And those are the places where we see a green snap in the lodging of those tall corn in those severe weather conditions. So you can see in this picture on the right side where our product Precion, which we call it smart corn system or shorter stature corn, you can see the tall corn is 80% green snap happen in those fields, and we see that 50% of the plants lodged due to high winds. While on the other side, Precion did perform very well, and we don't see any lodging there. So by having a short stature corn, there are more benefit along with that also. If in a tall corn, you cannot take your tractor into the field if you have to control other insects. But by having a short stature corn, we have the ability to take our tractors in because they are short and there is enough clearance without hurting the plant, and that you can spray insecticide or fungicide in the later stages of the product development. Another thing that we are seeing that these short stature corn is giving us a high yield potential, and is also helping us to make adjustment and have more number of plants per acre basis. So lots of benefit we are seeing with this. And we have done our groundbreaker trials recently in Europe and in US, and 80% of the farmers' feedback is that they would like to use this type of system in future. So just to summarize my talk here, all of the product that we have developed or the one that we are developing as a next generation, which I had mentioned earlier, in conjunction with other tools like pesticide over the top, with different jump laws, and then using digital tools, that really makes our agriculture system more sustainable. And this will be done by cutting the fuel emission, reducing soil erosion, and also conserving water use, while increasing the biodiversity of beneficial organisms that will thrive in that healthier environment. So this slide is I prepared from ISA. This is a really an organization that is tracking all the benefits of those biotech traits. I don't want to go in detail, but you can see there are a lot of benefits already been captured here that biotech traits could bring with cultivation of these crops. With that, I will stop here and happy to answer if anyone has any question.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akil, for an extremely insightful and thought-provoking presentation. We will now open the floor for the questions, and I request for the participants, just please raise your hand, or you can type your questions in the chat box. Thank you very much. Yeah, the one who want to ask, please just raise your hand. So I will open your mic and you can ask directly to our respective speaker.
Let me ask you, when you see the screen, did you see any lines on it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's strange. Why is that happening? Okay, sorry about that. Maybe in these slides I was doing something. Okay, never mind.
Sir, very nice presentation, and you are doing a very excellent job. I have one question. Sir, you are working on the next boardwalk Thrive on for sucking pest. Is it available for commercial? Yeah, it is on trial purpose. Mean it is under trial, yeah, available for commercial.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier that we have like 4 or 5 phases of product development. So the next generation of Thrive On, which is for our sucking pest control for ligas and thrips, that is still in the early phases of product development like discovery. So it's gonna go into phase 1, which takes another 3 years, phase 2, another 3 years, and phase 3, another 3 years. So before we give it to anyone to test in academia, it will take another 10 years. So we have to test rigorously in our platform first before we share it with anyone to test.
Okay.
Yeah, it is in discovery right now. Yeah.
Okay. Hope for the best, and maybe it will be productive. And sir, is it will be control whitefly too?
So it's too early to say, because like I said, it's discovery, but I can tell you right now that for sure ligas and thrips, maybe another pest, but what will be that pest, that's still confidential information.
Okay, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, please, anyone else who want to ask? Mr. Zaman, please open your mic.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, you have network, but I want to question what we can do to manage the fall armyworm on maize in Pakistan. What you suggest will be the best thing to do here in our condition in Pakistan?
Yeah. So Zaman, this is really a great question. So fall armyworm, for those who don't know, this pest is becoming more global. It started from the tropical environment like Brazil, where we have multiple generation in a year, and that now slowly is spreading out in other parts of the world. So this is the pest that has the ability to overcome these traits that we are bringing to the market. That's why we are seeing that this fall armyworm develop resistance within 5 to 6 years. So Brazilian farmers are controlling it very well with those biotech traits. In Pakistan, unfortunately, these traits are not available, and I don't see in near future it will be available. So currently, if the only solution we have to control these things is by using insecticide application, which could be granular form or spray, but mostly granular is the one that would help. We are working very closely with the government of Pakistan to bring this regulatory system more like in a working condition so that we can have these traits available to Pakistani farmers. I think in last year or so, we are seeing some promising indication. So what it means is that we have the product, we can quickly run those regulatory trials to get those product approved for Pakistan market for use in near future. Like I said, uncertainty there in Pakistan regulatory system, which hindering availability of these traits for the farmers. So, unfortunately, just rely on insecticide, which already
Thank you so much.
have more resistant development with insecticide.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zaman, for asking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who want to ask a question? Please raise your hand. Or the one who want to send his question in the chat box.
Yeah, my talk is more focused only for plant biotechnology. Sorry, Dr. Saqib and Dr. Asma, we did not coordinate well. I was thinking, okay, maybe at very high level, but if you guys feel like I stay very high level and talk about only product, we can share more data if needed, but I can share some resources on the network so that you can go by yourself and learn about all the data we have generated over the years. My slides were not heavy focus on the data. It's more like giving you a perspective what plant biotechnology traits can bring to the farmer to grow crops more efficiently at their system.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Akil. Actually, mashallah, what we learned actually the plant biotech and how it's impacting on the sustainable pest management is now the technology is evolving and from conventional crops and now farmers are moving towards the genetically modified crops and definitely the new issues related with the pest they are also arising. So the presentation, mashallah, today we got some new insights what's actually happening in a global or multinational company like Bayer and how it's working on improving the crop varieties and addressing the challenges not only about the yield but also some other issues related with the pest management. We have another participant, my respected supervisor, and I think your friend Dr. Amjad Saleh from Saudi Arabia. So we will take a question from him. Dr. Amjad, please, can you open your mic?
Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Akil, how are you doing?
Doing well.
Okay. A quick question. You said that you try to decrease the number of genes that you are introducing to the GMOs crops. And at the same time, the number of proteins are more than the genes. How you achieve that?
No. What I'm saying is that we are using less number of loci to deliver more number of proteins. So, but we are using one locus to deliver 3 proteins. Locus, I'm talking about loci where the gene land.
Oh, I get your point. So because it was this mentioned gene. Okay, I got
Yeah.
it. Thank you
Those.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Can I have another question?
Yeah, please, Dr. Mehreen, please.
Sir, this is the all varieties are there to control the insect. But if insect get resistant against them, then what is the procedure to control them?
So let's see, whenever we launch a product, at the same time we start working on the next generation product, because we know, like I mentioned, scientific models suggest that the insects that we are trying to control in corn, soybean, and cotton system, they develop resistance in 5 to 8 years. So, or they potentially be developing resistance, but our experience is more like a 10-year. So within 10 years, we would like to see a replacement product in the market. So that's the way we already, when we hand off our product to regulatory for approvals, same time we start working on the discovery to the next generation product. So we try to have our product be available before we even see a resistance in the market.
Doctor, one question I want to ask related with the Pakistan perspective, is maybe you are definitely familiar that presently in Pakistan we are actually facing problem with the cotton production, and mashallah, you had a great experience while working with the cotton or for the producing some genetically modified varieties. So, how you can see, or what is your way forward for how we can improve the cotton production, as we were the leader in cotton production in the past, but now this time at present, even the government level, there are some initiatives taking these days. So, what you can say about this, especially because now the major problem is whitefly in terms of sucking pests, and also the quality of the cotton production is not good these days in Pakistan.
Yeah. So, I had this year I was in Pakistan and I met with the Secretary of Agriculture, and I also met with folks who are doing those green initiative in Pakistan. And I visited their farm at Jalalpur Pirwala in Khanewal. And one thing I want to say that everyone is doing something that may not really help the cotton decline what we have seen in Pakistan. It's just to be straightforward, because I think the focus is still there to just do things on the short term and get the benefit if we can. So cotton decline happen in my opinion is low quality seed, and that's only happened when, as a country, we decided to get off patent genes from other parts of the world. It's so unfortunate that our institute and also the other farmers went to other parts of the world, just bring few seeds and back cross those into the local germplasm. We used to have a really nice cotton yield when, like, before 1999 or 2000. We were like 10 millions, those bales and all those things, what we always proud of. And those are the varieties like S12, S14, CM varieties. Those has, the tolerance there for leaf curl virus, which is spread with whitefly. But when you are trying to bring BT gene from other parts of the world without a stewardship program, then you are bringing some other garbage with that germplasm from other parts of the world, and that slowly reduce the tolerance what we have in our varieties. So the first thing, the low-hanging fruit for us, is we need to enable our government institute already there in Multan or Faisalabad go back to their original accession. In breeding world, we call it accession seed, that they brought it from Mexico because the Mexico variety has a disease tolerance. Let's breed those back into the cotton existing varieties, bring the germplasm back, or go back to the varieties what we have in 1999 and start working from there, so that at least we get that germplasm back what we needed. The other thing is that then work with the multinational company who has those technologies, so that we can bring those technologies. Like when I say technologies, is mean biotech traits for insect control and weed control, in a form that with a proper stewardship program. When I said stewardship program, what it means is it's not only doing a back cross, but we need to make sure that the gene express at the right quantity. If it is not expressed in the right quantity, then the insects will get resistance more quicker. And we have seen this with pink bollworm and other pests. So two things, go back to the drawing board, get the varieties where we have the disease tolerance in the past, and start from there and engage industry to have an access to these biotech trait that can help a better seed for the farmer to use in the field. That's pretty much I can offer. Other thing is that is continuous reliance on the insecticide is going in. But it's not as sustainable. If we are bringing industry or other different companies to come to the country and invest, then they will invest into more disease tolerance, more drought tolerance, or other things that can help our cotton to thrive in Pakistan. It's all about this partnership, but we are seeing in other parts of the world. Don't think about industry is evil. It's just work with them and get things what is needed for the farmers.
Thank you very much, Dr. Akil. Now we will take some questions from the chat box. So the first question someone asked, how we can deal with a problem that in the current scenario where yield is essential, like done by using pesticides or the synthetic fertilizers, but at the same time, the quality of organic products are also essential for humankind. If you got.
Yeah. So if I correctly understand, the concern is that, okay, we are helping farmers to control some of those stressors like insects, weed, and disease, so that we can boost the yield of the crop. But at the same time, how we can ensure that the quality is not like the grain quality is stay the same. So all of our regulatory study, and this is my PhD work is, and also I mentioned that we invest millions and millions of dollars in each phases of product development. We don't want to give a product to the farmers that does not have the same quality that a normal non-GMO crop has. So when we do our testing, we always test non-GMOs as a competitor. So we look for all the quality traits in terms of the plant and also in terms of silage, in terms of the grain quality, like what composition of the grain look like non-GMO and GMO. And all of those studies that we done for all of our traits is already there in regulatory submission, and those are available for public consumption all over the world. But if I can share with this network one QR code, you can just go to that QR code and you will have access to those studies that shows that the quality did not change when we inserted the GM traits into the plant. Is this the question that I? Did I answer?
Yeah, I hope you answered it. Now, another question from the chat box, or maybe it's a comment, but I want you to answer it by your own experience. Mostly GMO crops produce junk DNA. How can control in animals and humans? And the second thing, any product which attract pollinators, like in case of plant biotechnology, self pollination is a main uh, 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 phenomena that is actually responsible to enhance the production of the
Yeah.
the yield of the crop.
Yeah. No, like I said, I try to stay very high level in my presentation, but I can each slide, I can go more in detail with more data. In terms of testing to non-target organisms, we always test our traits to make sure they have no impact on the decomposers, detrivores, pollinators, parasitoids. Honeybee is one of those key indicator for us. We earthworms, collembola, ladybird beetle, chrysoperla. So we make sure all those beneficials that are playing their key role in controlling other pests, our traits or our genes do not kill them. So this is one of the key studies we do, and this is my PhD project. When I was working at Kansas State University, I was looking at a Monsanto trait for rootworm control to see if it has an impact on those beneficials. I did not find any negative effect. And like I said, we test these things over and over here. So let me go back to the slide so that you can envision.
Yes, sir. I also test 11 cultivars of BT, and
Yeah,
there is no effect on their beneficial fauna.
exactly.
Sir,
So
what
can
you
I
suggest?
can I can I quickly say one thing? So when we are in the discovery phase, we test thousands of genes, and we test that for beneficial insects at that time. If any genes has an impact, we kill those genes and we don't take it forward. And then when we are in the phase 2 and phase 3, which is regulatory time, very few genes are tested. And we take only one or two forward that we know that will not has any impact on those beneficials or does not have any impact in the composition of those grains that we are producing.
Sir, what you suggest if we use as a refuge? What is your recommendation with your beauty cultivar? Like Monsanto recommended like 80% and 20% non-beauty refuge, and yeah, 5% non-beauty refuge to control the resistance. What you suggest about this?
Yeah, there's no one recommendation for that. It all depends on what geography we have launching that product. If we are in US market, then we look for the natural refuge, like for cotton. We don't have those structured refuge like 80% or 20% or 90% or 10%. So yeah, so what we have is natural refuge, because where the cotton is grown, we have other crops that can serve as a natural refuge for that crop. So we don't have that requirement. But when you go in Brazil, they don't have those natural refuge, other crops around cotton. For that place, we have a structured refuge, which is 90 to 10%. Then now coming back to US, for corn, we don't have a structured refuge. We say that refuge in a bag means it's a blend of seed where we have some seed, 5% of the seed will have no genes, and the 95% of the plants will have the gene. So you would expect 5% damage in the